Hey everyone, welcome back to Installation 00, and the Spartans are powerhouses of superhuman capabilities. Even when you take the incredible Mjolnir-powered assault armor away, they're still superhuman in nearly every metric you can measure. But how do the respective traits of the three different Spartan classes stack up against one another? Well, today we're going to start a 5-part series looking at the augmentations of each Spartan class and comparing and contrasting them against each other. So let's first kick this off with a look at the nerve augmentation of the Spartans and start figuring out the specifics. There's no better place to start than with the Titans themselves, the Spartan-IIs. Spartan-IIs received the superconducting fibrification of neural dendrites augmentation that gives them the neurological boost in reaction time that has often been instrumental in surviving encounters on the battlefield. The specifics of this augmentation can only really be inferred from the description of the augmentation as denoted in Halsey's journal, Halo the Fall of Reach, and the Spartan Field Manual. The description is as follows: alteration of bioelectrical nerve transduction to shielded electronic transduction, 300% increase in subject reflexes, anecdotal evidence of a marked increase in intelligence, memory, and creativity. Risks: 12% of subjects can contract Parkinson's disease and Fletcher's syndrome. From this we can deduce that the augmentation involves altering the dendrites of the subject's nerve cells. Dendrites are extensions of the nerve cell that propagate the electrochemical signals from neighbouring cells to the cell nucleus. The augmentation seems to suggest that the dendrite's normal bioelectrical, or rather electrochemical means of activation, are replaced with an electronic counterpart. From very brief footage found from the Halo 4 teaser and the aforementioned description, it would appear that my earlier theories on the nature of this augmentation were somewhat incorrect. So I amend what I originally said in the Spartan-II augmentation breakdown to this: the dendrites are infused with a nanoparticulate superconducting smart matter material that carries the electrochemical signals significantly faster than the dendrite on its own, but can convert along its length the electrochemical signals into digital signals and back again. This would suggest the signals travelling through the nervous system would be travelling at near the speed of light through the superconducting portion, then down to electrochemical diffusion velocities as it passes through the cell nucleus, then back up to near light speed, and then decelerate again, all the way to its destination. Whilst this sounds hugely inefficient and intuitively makes one believe the nervous system is effectively pulsing with a very high frequency, this is surprisingly not dissimilar to the natural biological processes within our nervous system. Signals move much faster through myelinated axons and dendrites than they do through nerve nuclei or synapses. So our nervous system pulses like this naturally, we just don't notice it because it's so fast. The Spartans would experience the same thing, but at an even faster frequency, as the signal would travel the length of the superconducting portion approximately 1,000,000 times faster than the nucleus or synapse. The superconducting material is aligned into a fixed ultrafine fibre within the dendrites via resonant electromagnetic fields. Once these connections have been made, the remaining dendrite protoplasmic material is sculpted back, reducing the overall mass of organic material in favour of the superconducting fibres, but preserving the nerve cell nucleus axons and myelin sheaths. This is made highly evident by the void between the spinal column and the skeletal spine, as this area would normally be filled to capacity with the spinal column. This augmentation is performed in the entirety of the central and peripheral nervous system, with the exception of the brain. On top of this augmentation, a genetic and molecular level alteration is made to the oligodendrocytes and Schwann cells within the nervous system. This promotes the growth of myelin sheaths over the nerves and superconducting fibers, thereby insulating the neural signals and speeding up their propagation still further. Spartans have said that this augmentation feels like fire burning along their spines and spinal nerves. It doesn't take too long for the subject to get used to moving with faster reflexes, though they will inevitably experience clumsiness, such as falling over, exaggerated reflexes, and problems with coordination. The augmentation comes with a 12% risk of Parkinson's disease and Fletcher's syndrome. Once the side effects all settle down, the result is an estimated nerve conduction velocity increase to 240-360 meters per second, meaning reaction time is approximately 7 milliseconds, a 300% increase in reaction time, making Spartans so fast that during times of stress and adrenaline, they experience a form of bullet time, where everything around them seems to be moving in slow motion, but fast at the same time. This experience was eventually coined Spartan time. Spartan-III's received the 87556 UD61 or improved colloidal neural disunification solution drug. This greatly improves the individual's reaction time, decreasing the time taken to react by 300%. Again, to make sense of this augmentation, we must call upon the examples it has been explained in universe, such as the book Ghosts of Onyx and the Spartan Field Manual, along with its description to ascertain the nature of this augmentation. This colloidal crystal chemical is injected into the candidate along with a disunification solution. The two of these reconstitute and disunify established neural pathways using the colloidal crystals as guides for the layout of a new optimized neural configuration. It's worth noting here that colloidal crystals have been studied at length due to their properties in regard to neural networks, whereby researchers from the University of California, Berkeley and Lawrence Berkeley National Lab demonstrate a method for producing three-dimensional neural networks based on templates made with colloidal crystals. The colloidal borosilicate spheres are coated with poly-LL lysine to promote cell adhesion and attachment, and then injected into the host, targeting the nervous systems. Almost immediately, the neural structures within the host begin to bond to the borosilicate spheres. After a 3-week recovery time, the result was a three-dimensional neural network with a realistic neuron density that could be influenced and guided to network formation by incorporating defects such as larger spheres into the colloidal crystal. The exact re-engineering of the neural pathways was likely calculated by an AI, so the massive amounts of data needed for such calculations could be checked thoroughly, as small errors introduced into the early analysis could result in massive systemic defects in the neural cohesion of the host. The result of this augmentation was a completely restructured and re-engineered neural network within the host, linearizing neural pathways and thus increasing point-to-point nerve conduction velocity by reducing the distance impulses would have to travel, while also reducing the electrochemical resistance of neural signals, allowing them to travel faster through the host's nervous system. There are apparently no negative side effects or risks of developing neurological conditions as there were for the Spartan-II's neural augmentations, but has exactly the same net effect, a 300% boost in reaction time. So of the two so far, this would be the most obvious choice were you to have to pick one, but we have one last augmentation to look at. The Spartan-IVs received the neurological enhancement augmentation. The nervous system is supermyelinated to increase the production of myelin sheaths and therefore the subject's reaction time. The nervous system is subject to various element treatments, including an increase in cyclic adenosine monophosphate or CAMP responses and the rebuilding of neuroendocrine cells. From this we can deduce the following. Myelin is an insulative material that surrounds nerves and allows the signals to travel faster with minimal signal loss. Supermyelination, then, is the process of adding additional myelin sheaths onto the nervous system, making neural impulses move much faster across the body. CAMP has many functions within the body, but specifically related to the nervous system, it can regulate cyclic nucleotide-gated ion channels. These CNG channels have important functions in signal transduction. They are directly activated by cyclic nucleotides, which are regulated by CAMP, and approximately 4 cyclic nucleotides are needed to activate each channel. Alteration of this within the central nervous system then facilitates increased viability of communication across and between neural cells. Annoyingly, there is no specific information given on how much this augmentation boosts the reaction time. Nearly the entire central nervous system, being the brain and spinal cord, are Group A, or heavily myelinated, so supermyelinating these sections likely have diminishing returns to signal transductance. The peripheral nervous system, however, being the nerves that branch off from the spinal cord and extend to all parts of the body, are made up of Group B, moderately myelinated nerves, and Group C, unmyelinated nerves. Supermyelinating these groups of nerves would likely have a scalar net positive effect on signal transductance, but without the central nervous system signal boost, the Spartan-IV equivalent augmentation just wouldn't reach the reaction time boost the previous classes have. So although I cannot put an exact figure on their reaction time boost, it must be less than 300% but more than the human base normal. Averaging this to 200% or double the normal human reaction time is a safe estimation. Overall, the differences between the three respective nerve augmentation sets are striking. Project Aster, being the Spartan-II's augmentations, re-engineers the nervous system entirely with a superconducting material which boosts their reaction time by 300%. There are risks of acquiring debilitating neurological illnesses as a consequence. However, there is also a clear suggestion that the compounding effects of the Spartan-II's augmentation sets and their exquisite genetic profiles may lead to increases beyond expectations as they learn and grow and adapt to their augmentations. This means Spartan-IIs may in fact have significantly faster reactions than the 300% originally quoted, bearing in mind their armor further enhances this effect. Chrysanthemum, or the S3's augmentation, is more of rewiring and refinement of existing neurological networks and has none of the associated risks, but still maintains the 300% reaction time boost. However, no such suggestion exists that over time this could get faster. And finally, the Spartan-IV augments seemingly just myelinate Group B and Group C nerves, boosting their signal transductance but likely only to a maximum of double normal human reaction time, but again with no negative long-term effects. All in all, with all the risks and rewards listed and compared, I'd love to hear your thoughts on which one you'd choose if you had to pick one to undergo. Let me know in the comments below, and until next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider hitting the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Be sure to like the video if you did, and pop a comment below on what you'd like me to cover next. I just want to take a moment to thank my patrons, Spartan-10148, the Metarch of my facility, Falcon, Sophia, Mikhail, Ashley, Jordan and Esoteric Sight, my dutiful monitors, Darian, Legions Lost, Lab Rat, Spartan-0137, Jacob Kemp, Sean, Element Zero, J3, Mr. Keys, Gunslinger, Evermore, Personal Devil, Aldeas, Toxic, Scion Esports, Gem Saber and Relentless, my diligent sub-monitors, my fleet of Strato Sentinels, my loyal enforcers, and all other patrons who continue to support the channel. If you want your name on the end of the video and some perks earned along the way, head over to Patreon and consider supporting the channel yourself. Big shout out to my Tier 0 Transcendent YouTube members, Spartan-137, Jacob Kemp, Talia, Fenrir, Bornstella, Jimbo and Balaz, and all the other YouTube members keeping my installation running on that glorious vacuum energy, with a special mention to the Accursed Hunter. Shout out to John due to the mathematical formula used to determine the area within a pentadodecahedron. Oh, and Lena because that sandwich. And remember, there are tons of ways to support the channel and keep my installation pumping out content at a breakneck speed. Much love to you all, take it easy everyone, and find peace in the domain.